Imagine being 13 years old, and every time your phone vibrates, your heart sinks. At first, it's only a few strange messages. They seem childish, almost harmless. You assume one of your classmates is playing a prank. You roll your eyes, block the number, and move on. But the messages don't stop. Instead, they multiply. Until the messages tell you something even darker. That everyone would be better off if you simply disappeared. Tonight, we're going to talk about one of the most disturbing cyberstalking cases in recent years. A case that kept investigators searching for 2 years before leading them to the last person anyone expected. Welcome to the podcast You Can't Unhear. Lauren Licari was born in Michigan and grew up in the small community of Beale City. Friends described her as quiet, kind, and easy to get along with. Like many teenagers, she spent time with friends after school, played sports, and had recently started dating a classmate named Owen. To everyone around them, Lauren and Owen looked like a normal young couple. Their families knew each other well. They spent holidays together. Even their parents believed the relationship was healthy. Nothing suggested that within months, both teenagers would become victims of a campaign of psychological terror. The first messages appeared around Halloween in 2020. Lauren and Owen had been talking about a local Halloween party. Shortly afterward, both of them received anonymous texts mentioning details from that exact conversation. They laughed it off, assuming one of their friends was trying to be funny. After a few days, the messages stopped. Life returned to normal. Or so they thought. Nearly a year later, everything changed. The anonymous texts returned without warning. Only this time, they came constantly. Some days, Lauren received dozens of messages from different numbers. Whoever was behind them seemed determined to make sure she never had a moment of peace. The insults became deeply personal. The sender mocked her appearance, attacked her self-worth, and repeatedly claimed Owen wanted to leave her. Some messages contained explicit sexual insults. Others encouraged her to end her own life. This wasn't bullying anymore. It was psychological warfare. What frightened Lauren most wasn't the cruelty. It was the accuracy. The sender knew the nickname only her family and closest friends used. They commented on the clothes she'd worn to school that day. They mentioned private conversations that had happened only hours earlier. It felt as though someone was following her everywhere. School no longer felt safe. Home didn't feel safe either. Every notification made her wonder who was watching. When Lauren finally told her parents, they reacted the way many parents probably would. They tried to reassure her, telling her to ignore the messages and promising it was probably someone seeking attention. But ignoring them became impossible. Blocking one number only led to another. The messages never truly stopped. Lauren and Owen tried to protect each other. They blocked numbers, changed settings, and avoided responding. But the pressure slowly began affecting their relationship. They started wondering whether being together was giving the anonymous sender exactly what they wanted. But eventually, they broke up. They hoped the messages would end. Instead, they became even worse. By early 2022, Lauren's family realized this was far beyond ordinary online harassment. Police opened an investigation, interviewing classmates and examining phones. Several students became temporary suspects, but every lead eventually collapsed. The case had become so complicated that local investigators requested help from the FBI. And that's when the mystery finally began moving in a direction no one could have imagined. The case was assigned to agents specializing in digital investigations. So instead of focusing on the messages themselves, they focused on how those messages were being sent. The anonymous numbers all appeared different, but investigators suspected they weren't actually different phones. They believed someone was hiding behind an internet-based texting application that generated temporary numbers. Eventually, they traced the messages to a service called Pinger, an app that allows users to create multiple phone numbers without needing multiple devices. The messages suddenly had a digital trail, and with a court order, the FBI followed it. When investigators received the records, they noticed something unusual. One account appeared over and over again. They traced the login history, internet connection, and the IP address. At first, nobody believed what they were seeing. The IP address wasn't pointing to a stranger. It wasn't a classmate. It wasn't Owen. It wasn't someone hiding across the country. It pointed directly to Lauren's own home. Investigators checked the data again and again. The result never changed. The trail always ended at the Licari family residence. Police now faced an uncomfortable possibility. Either someone inside the house had been sending the messages, or someone inside the house had absolutely no idea their internet connection was being used. There was only one way to find out. In December 2022, investigators arrived at the Licari home with the evidence they'd gathered. The family welcomed them inside. Lauren was there, her father was there, her mother Kendra was there too. Throughout the entire investigation, Kendra had been one of the most cooperative people involved. She regularly contacted investigators asking for updates. She comforted Lauren whenever another wave of messages arrived. She spoke with school staff. She reassured other parents. To everyone around her, she looked like a mother desperately trying to protect her daughter. When detectives began asking questions, Kendra calmly denied everything. She insisted she had no idea who could be responsible. She couldn't imagine anyone hurting Lauren this way. For a moment, the room fell silent. Then investigators placed all of the digital evidence on the table. Every piece pointed to the same conclusion. There was nowhere left to hide. According to investigators, Kendra's expression changed almost immediately. After months of denying it, she admitted the truth, that it was her all this time. She had been sending the messages, all of them, while Lauren was standing only a few feet away. For 2 years, she'd believed a stranger was stalking her. She'd cried in front of her mother, asked for comfort, asked for reassurance, listened as her mother told her everything would be okay. Only now did she realize the person comforting her had been the same person terrorizing her every single day. Even the detectives struggled to process what they had just uncovered. One investigator later admitted this wasn't the ending anyone expected. Not because parents never commit crimes against their children, but because Kendra had played the role of the worried mother so convincingly. She wasn't hiding from the investigation. She had been standing right in the middle of it. As investigators continued questioning her, another surprising detail emerged. Kendra had been lying about much more than the messages. For over a year, she'd told friends and family she was working. In reality, she had no job. Much of her time had been spent at home, where the messages were sent. The mystery of who had been stalking Lauren was finally over. But a far more difficult question remained. Why would a mother spend 2 years psychologically destroying her own daughter? According to investigators, Kendra had created dozens of fake phone numbers over nearly 2 years. Some messages were sent directly to Lauren. Others targeted Owen, Lauren's friends, and even members of their families. She wasn't simply harassing one person. She was carefully manipulating the relationships around her daughter. Sometimes she pretended to be a concerned classmate. Other times she impersonated someone spreading rumors. Each message pushed Lauren a little further into isolation. As investigators reviewed the timeline, they noticed something deeply unsettling. Whenever Lauren became overwhelmed, she turned to the person she trusted most: her mother. Kendra would comfort her, reassure her, and promise everything would be okay. Then later that same day, another anonymous message would arrive. The cycle repeated itself again and again for almost 2 years. During interviews after her arrest, Kendra reportedly claimed she had originally created the fake messages to influence Lauren's relationship with Owen. But what began as a small deception quickly spiraled into something she could no longer control. The messages became more frequent, more personal, more cruel. Eventually, they seemed to take on a life of their own. On April 26, 2023, Kendra Licari pleaded guilty to 2 counts of stalking a minor and was sentenced to a minimum of 19 months in prison and a maximum of 5 years. Kendra was also divorced by her husband Sean while she was serving her sentence. Sean gained full custody of Lauren. Legally, Kendra is forbidden from contacting her daughter. She was released on parole on August 8, 2024, and will remain on probation until February 2026. The legal case was over. But for Lauren, the emotional consequences would almost certainly last much longer. Some betrayals don't just break trust. They change the way you see every relationship afterward. In her Netflix documentary, Kendra said that she hadn't seen Lauren for over a year, but she believes that no matter what happens, she will always have a special bond with her daughter and is confident they can still have a healthy relationship in the future. Perhaps that's why this story disturbed so many people. It reminds us that danger doesn't always arrive wearing a mask. Sometimes it sits across the dinner table. Sometimes it asks how your day was. Sometimes it hugs you while secretly creating the very fear it's pretending to protect you from. Thank you for joining me tonight. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to follow the podcast because every day we uncover another story that blurs the line between crime, psychology, and the things people are capable of when nobody is watching. Until next time, stay curious, stay safe. I'll see you on the next episode of the podcast You Can't Unhear.